Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take materials you send us, pull out the key ideas, and, well, help you get up to speed fast.
And today we're diving into the writings of Jim Rohn, specifically his thoughts on getting through those tough times life throws at us.
Yeah, a listener sent this in, and it's really powerful stuff. The core idea seems to be that challenges aren't, meant to break you.
Exactly. Ron sees them more as shaping experiences, opportunities actually, for growth in ways you might not expect.
Right. So our mission today is to really unpack Ron's main principles. We want to give you some actionable things, strategies you can use, not just to survive the rough patches, but maybe even thrive.
Think of it as a shortcut to understanding his core philosophy on resilience.
Okay, so let's jump in. First up, Ron puts a massive emphasis on controlling your mindset.
Oh, absolutely. This is foundational for him. He basically says your mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy when things get hard.
It's about actively guarding against that negative spiral, isn't it? The self-doubt that creeps in.
Yeah, he argues that if you let that pessimism take over, you've kind of already lost the battle internally.
But the flip side is empowering. He says the moment you genuinely decide, I am stronger than this, you actually start changing the dynamic.
It's a conscious choice. It's not just hoping, it's deciding to view things from a position of strength, not victimhood. That shift in perspective. Ron sees that as incredibly powerful.
Okay, so mindset first. Principle number 2 sounds simple, but it's crucial. Keep moving forward.
Yeah, his point is that doing nothing, just freezing up, is maybe the worst thing you can do when you're facing adversity.
Because inaction just breeds more fear, right? You
Yeah.
get stuck.
Exactly. Progress, even tiny steps, builds confidence. It creates momentum. Ron sees action as the direct antidote to that feeling of being overwhelmed.
So even if you don't have all the answers, just do something.
Right.
Make a plan. Take one small action, then another.
It's about that forward motion. It reinforces the belief that you can navigate this, even if it's just inch by inch. It stops you feeling completely swamped.
Okay, number 3 really got me thinking. It's about strengthening your circle, the people around you.
Ah, yes. He talks a lot about the energy you absorb. Who you spend time with matters, especially when you're vulnerable.
He makes a clear distinction, doesn't he, between people who lift you up, who inspire you, versus those who just feed your fears and doubts.
Totally. That energy, positive or negative, is contagious. Surrounding yourself with strong, resilient people, people who believe things can get better, that actually bolsters your own strength.
It's a proactive strategy, really. Choosing your environment.
Absolutely. It directly impacts your mental and emotional state during a crisis. It's about intentionally seeking out resilience.
All right, moving on. Number 4, adapt and adjust, because life rarely sticks to the script.
No, it definitely doesn't. Ron stresses being flexible, things change, paths divert, you need to be able to pivot.
So stay committed to the overall goal, the vision, but be willing to change how you get there.
Precisely. Maybe the plan needs tweaking. Maybe you need a whole new method. Clinging rigidly to something that's not working anymore, that's a trap.
That adaptability isn't just for hard times, though, is it? It's for long-term success in general.
Good point. It requires being okay with letting go of old ways and trying new things, even if it feels a bit uncomfortable at first.
Okay, principle 5 is about discipline. Ron makes a big deal about discipline over just motivation.
Yes, this is a critical distinction. Motivation, it comes and goes,
Yeah.
especially when you're facing real challenges.
But discipline, that's different. That's the commitment to act even when you don't feel like it.
Exactly. It's about sticking to your routines, keeping the promises you made to yourself. That consistency, fueled by discipline, is what winners do.
And it connects back to mindset, right? Discipline helps you maintain that positive, proactive stance when things are pushing you down.
It provides the structure.
Number 6, focus on what you can control. Seems obvious, but we all get caught up worrying about things way outside our influence.
Oh, for sure. Market crashes, world events, things we can't change.
Ron says, redirect that energy. Focus it entirely on your actions, your choices, your response right now.
It's about taking ownership for your part, isn't it? Making the best of the situation you're actually in, not wishing it were different.
And that shift is incredibly empowering. It moves you from feeling like a victim of circumstance to being an active participant in shaping your outcome, even if the circumstances are tough.
Okay, number 7, keep learning. Ron warns that stopping learning is dangerous, especially when things are difficult and changing fast.
Yeah, the world doesn't stand still. Tough times often demand new skills, new ways of thinking. You need fresh perspectives.
So read, seek out mentors, learn from others who've been through it.
Yes, actively seek that wisdom. He always said knowledge is power, but crucially, only when you apply it. Stay curious. Be a student of life, always.
That constant learning helps you adapt, find new solutions.
Definitely. It refines your understanding and your toolkit. Now, number 8 is deep. Find meaning in the struggle. He talks about pain versus suffering.
This is profound. Pain, like hardship, is pretty much unavoidable in life. But suffering, that often comes from how we interpret the pain, how we resist it.
So Ron encourages looking for the lesson, the opportunity within the challenge.
Exactly. Ask, what can I learn here? How can this make me stronger or wiser? He observed that many truly successful people were forged in the fire of adversity. They didn't let it break them, they let it refine them.
That changes the whole experience, doesn't it? From being a victim to being someone who's actively engaging and growing through it.
It transforms hardship from something purely negative into a potential catalyst.
Number 9 is practical, but vital. Take care of yourself. Nutrition, rest, exercise.
Yeah, he stresses this isn't a luxury, especially under pressure. It's a necessity.
Because when you're stressed, your reserves get depleted. Neglecting the basics just makes it worse.
You can't operate effectively on empty. Taking care of your physical and mental well-being is fundamental. It's the foundation for everything else.
It fuels your resilience, your ability to think clearly and cope.
Precisely. It maintains your capacity.
And the big one, number 10, never give up. Ron says this is like the ultimate differentiator.
Perseverance, that sheer refusal to quit despite setbacks, that's often what separates success from failure in the long run.
He reminds us that tough times don't last forever, right? Storms pass,
Yeah.
winter turns to spring.
But the strength you build by getting through it does last. So stay in the fight, keep pushing, believe things can turn around.
That belief combined with the action, that's the magic formula.
Especially when things look bleak. It's about making the choice to keep going.
Now, Ron gets into this really interesting idea, almost counterintuitive, seeing struggle as a privilege.
It sounds odd at first, yeah. But his point is that struggle forces us to evolve. It's like a crucible that reveals strengths we didn't know we had.
He kind of frames it as life testing our determination. And when you push back, when you show resilience, you become, well, more.
And avoiding struggle, always seeking comfort, that actually prevents you from developing key things like character, wisdom, leadership. Those things are forged in difficulty.
He calls tough times a training ground.
Exactly. Like a warrior isn't made in peacetime, right? It's in the battle. When quitting seems easy, but you don't, that's when you build real resilience.
So the very thing we're often afraid of could actually be what builds us.
That's his perspective. Overcoming challenges builds that inner confidence for the future.
Which leads to his point about how tough times reveal true character. It's easy to look good when things are easy.
The real test is when the pressure is on. Business fails, relationship struggle, loss happens. How do you act then? That shows who you really are.
And he puts the choice firmly on us. Are you going to let this define you, or are you going to define the moment?
That choice, that agency is everything. No matter what's happening externally, you still have the power to choose your response, your attitude, your actions.
And this ties into reframing tough times as opportunities. Not just things to endure, but chances to grow into who you're meant to be.
Yeah, it's a powerful reframe. Comfort rarely breeds strength. Pressure and struggle do. He suggests seeing storms as, well, almost gifts in a way. Opportunities to become unbreakable.
Okay, if you're finding this deep dive into Jim Rohn's ideas useful, maybe hitting that subscribe button on our YouTube channel would be a good next step. We explore powerful concepts like this regularly.
It's a great way to keep these kinds of insights coming.
So back to Ron. It all comes back to that power of choice and response, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You don't choose what happens, but you always choose how you react. That's the core.
Break down or break through. That's the decision.
And he observed that the people who succeed make a conscious decision. This challenge, this is a beginning, not an end.
Then there's resilience and belief. Tough times test your will, your determination, your bounce-back ability.
Totally. And Ron often said, it's not always the most talented who win, but the most persistent, those who just refuse to quit.
It's not about the path being easy. It's about deciding you won't stop moving forward. Don't listen to the fear. Choose not to give up.
That choice is incredibly powerful.
And this leads to transformation through adversity. The tough times pass, but the strength you gained stays with you.
You grow. You become more capable. Those struggles, looking back, become defining moments of growth, not just roadblocks.
He also talks about embracing the inevitability of challenges. Life will throw curveballs.
Yeah, you can't avoid them forever. So the focus shouldn't be on avoidance, but on how you respond when they hit. Mindset, resilience, belief.
Hmm.
That's your toolkit.
And he emphasizes action and perseverance over just having potential. When it gets tough, willpower matters more than talent sometimes.
Definitely. He saw so many people succeed through sheer grit, even without obvious advantages. Don't back down. Don't let fear paralyze you. Just keep acting.
It really hammers home that your response is what defines you.
Choosing to keep going, refusing to be broken by it. That's how you rise above and grow stronger. These struggles are shaping you.
And he wraps it up by bringing it right down to the present moment. Overcoming this challenge right now comes down to a personal decision.
Yeah. Are you going to just survive? Or are you going to choose to rise, to grow? See this tough time as fertile ground for building strength.
Embrace it, get stronger, prove your resolve. Powerful stuff.
Absolutely. A really potent framework.
Wow. Okay, that was a really thorough look at Jim Rohn's wisdom on getting through life's inevitable difficulties. We've covered a lot, from mindset.
All the way to just plain never giving up. The core message is so clear. Challenges happen, but how we react is what counts.
Right. Controlling your thoughts, always taking action, staying disciplined, surrounding yourself with strength, and just persevering. Those are the keys.
It's a practical guide, really, for using difficult times not just to survive, but to actually become stronger and more capable, leveraging adversity for growth.
So here's something to leave you with. Think about the challenges you're facing right now. Using Ron's ideas, how could you shift your perspective? See them less as obstacles and more as opportunities to build that unshakable version of yourself he talks about.
And maybe ask yourself, what's one small action, just one thing guided by these principles that you can take today to start moving towards that strength?